Significant hail today? No. No, you're not going to see anything severe today. When will you see severe weather? I think that next chance is on Friday, so we've got a few days until we get there. Right now, we're just focused on that winter weather that's moving through the Northeast. Quiet, as I mentioned, for Thursday, for your Thanksgiving Day. It's quiet and cold out there, so you absolutely need your jacket and maybe those hand warmers as well. It's going to be pretty windy across portions of the U.S. as well. We'll talk more about that here in just a few minutes because those wind speeds could absolutely cause either travel delays or maybe make your travel a little bit faster. If you get a tailwind, maybe that'll help make your travel faster. It could also delay some of our Thanksgiving events, maybe like those parades. We'll talk about that here in just a few minutes as well. But for your travel, I want to go ahead and bring in meteorologist Michaela Smith. Michaela, you have been keeping us updated all week long on travel conditions so that people can plan accordingly. Tell us what they can expect over the next 48 hours as they head to their Thanksgiving plans and on the way home.
Yeah, so, things that we're going to watch for today, obviously you talked about where we have the blizzard conditions, the snow. That could impact some plans. People are trying to travel today up near the Great Lakes. It's also pretty breezy up there, so we could see some maybe windy conditions causing issues in places like Chicago. We'll have a small break, I think, actually on Thanksgiving Day. I don't think it'll be too bad. But then, as you mentioned, we have that next storm system that comes in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, talking about snow possibly, storms in other locations. I think that could cause issues maybe as people trying to head home from wherever they travel on Thanksgiving.
Okay, good summary there, but let's break this down hour by hour. This red right here, I'm going to go ahead and let you take over here.
So we're going to talk about each day. So if you have any travel plans, you know exactly what you can expect. Here's this evening. You can see areas to the north, closer to the Great Lakes that we just talked about, and where Taylor showed you that they have those blizzard warnings right now. That's where we can expect moderate, even maybe major delays, just because that's where a ton of snow is right now, but that's also where things are very windy. Then you head into tomorrow. This is around 7 a.m., so start of your Thanksgiving Day. Not seeing any major or even moderate impacts. Minor delays might be possible, and really this is going to be more for windy conditions for your Thursday afternoon. Then you head into Friday, so if anyone's coming back from wherever they're traveling for Thanksgiving early in the morning on Friday, this is right around 6:30, still seeing a lot of green, so not expecting any travel delays, maybe along the East Coast, a few minor delays. Once you get into Friday night, you start to see more, okay, now we're talking about storms possible Friday night to Saturday. That could cause a few delays back into the plains. This is Saturday morning right around 7 a.m. Oklahoma City, Dallas, Omaha, St. Louis. You could be dealing with moderate to maybe major delays, just depending on how strong that storm system is, like Taylor talked about. Could bring storms, could bring snow to some people late this week and into early next week. Still so far out to say you're not going to want to immediately take that to the books, but we're just kind of showing you right now, hey, this could eventually bring some delays. Even then, if this is just falling in the form of rain, if you get a lot of rain and storms, that's going to cause some delays at some airports. Get to Saturday evening, still seeing a few delays possible as this shifts more off towards the east. And then by Sunday morning, everything looks pretty good at that point. Sunday evening, not too many major delays. So we're going to break down Thanksgiving forecast across parts of the country, starting off with New York City tomorrow. By 11 o'clock, temperatures are sitting in those lower 40s, and they're really not going to warm up too much in the afternoon. You're staying in the lower 40s all day. By 8 o'clock in the evening, you're back into the 30s. But really what I want to highlight for you are these winds. Out of the east, 25 to 40 miles per hour possible, and we'll talk about that more here in just a few minutes. Chicago also going to see very windy conditions tomorrow. Winds out of the northeast, 25 to 35 miles an hour, and it's going to be even colder here. We're talking about highs right around freezing for your Thanksgiving, so 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you may get to about 33 degrees. It's really going to be a struggle to get back above freezing for tomorrow. Winds are going to be, again, very breezy. You'll see more mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Denver, things start to get a little bit warmer. Those highs will make it into the lower 50s tomorrow afternoon, and those winds aren't too bad out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By 8 o'clock in the evening, you are back into the 40s, and where things are going to be a little bit nicer. We're going down to Dallas if you're closer to the plains. Expect lots of sunshine tomorrow on your Thanksgiving. Winds out of the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So again, overall not too breezy. You'll start off in the morning in those 40s, maybe lower 50s. And by the afternoon, you're talking about 60s. So still sweater weather for some people. And especially as you go more towards the north, that's where you'll want to start to add those layers to your Thanksgiving outfits. Here's a look at temperatures Wednesday evening. So tonight you can see really where things are really cold, especially to the north, and that's where that low pressure system is. Tomorrow on your Thanksgiving morning, temperatures are in the 20s to the north. You're in the teens in Bismarck. Oklahoma City, you're sitting at 38, so cold start tomorrow morning. And then in the afternoon, right around 3 o'clock, still not warming up a ton. You're talking about 30s and 40s along the East Coast. Middle of the US, you're in the 50s, maybe getting into the 60s areas to the south. But something I really want to pinpoint for you too is this low pressure system right here. It's over the Great Lakes right now. By tomorrow, it's going to be closer to the East Coast. And all these lines that you see are going to be that pressure gradient, but that's what causes very windy conditions. So that's why when I showed you New York's forecast, 25 to 40 mile per hour wind gust, that's what we're dealing with tomorrow is because of that low pressure system. So I'm going to bring Taylor back in actually. We're going to talk about, tomorrow, the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade. People watch that. Everyone gets really excited for that. But when it's that windy, could they potentially not actually have those balloons flying?
Okay, yes. So that was my first thought. Whenever I heard that it was going to be windy in New York on Thanksgiving, I was like, wait, what about the parade? It's one of my favorite traditions every year. So I have some stats for you. I looked it up because I was curious. I hope that you guys are too. Now, the balloons, they'll be grounded at wind speeds over 25 miles an hour. So it makes me a little concerned because you said that we could see that early tomorrow morning. 27, is that what you said tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we're
Right
talking
around
about
there?
25 to by the afternoon, 40 miles per hour possible. It's going to be really windy.
So 25 miles an hour or gusts that surpass the mid 30s. So it looks like that's possible tomorrow, unfortunately. But it's really tricky because in New York, you've got these really tall buildings. You've got that strong wind, and those buildings really create a wind tunnel that could enhance those strong wind speeds to be even stronger. So even though we say the 20s, it could be even stronger there at the ground. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, back in 2019, they didn't have to ground the balloons. The wind was not that strong at that point, but it was still breezy enough. That wind tunnel effect, really kicked in that the balloons actually injured a few of the balloon handlers, the people that hold the strings. So, you have to be careful with this type of thing because that can absolutely happen. Now, despite if the balloons fly or not, they still have about 28 floats, performers, and bands for entertainment, so you guys can still watch the parade. You may just not see your favorite balloon. Do you have a favorite balloon, Michaela? I was trying to think if I had one.
I don't know if I have a favorite balloon. I really just enjoy all of it, like getting to see the different performers every year. I like when they do like the high school bands that like come in from different places and they do all the performances and stuff like that. It's just like the whole thing, I think, is so well done every single year. But I do like when you get some of those unique balloons maybe that you like aren't expecting. I think one year they had like a Ghostbuster one. My husband loves Ghostbusters, so like anytime he sees that one, he gets really excited.
I like anything Charlie Brown. So whether it's a float or it's a balloon Charlie Brown, I think that's perfect for the holidays.
You need just a little peanut float flying down.
I love it. I think that Charlie Brown, I always decorate my house in Charlie Brown during the holidays. Well, I think that those are all of my fun facts here. So hopefully we'll have calm conditions tomorrow.
Fingers crossed that
low
we can at
pressure
least get
system
some of
not
those,
looking great.
some of those balloons. I'll let you talk about the rest of after Thanksgiving. I know a lot of people do Black Friday shopping too. That also looks cold and windy in some places.
Yeah, you're going to need your hand warmers for that. Thank you, Michaela. We appreciate you being here. Let's go ahead and talk about Black Friday because we have another low pressure system moving in on Friday, and that will not only create those cooler temperatures for the rest of the weekend, but it will also create the potential for storms. So let's get into that here. As Michaela mentioned, anytime that you see a dip in these lines right here means that we could have some active weather. What we see is we start to see that really start to dip. This is called a trough, and that's going to create this divide between colder temperatures and warmer temperatures, between that upper level forcing, that low pressure system, and these warm, moist temperatures right here. So what we're going to see here is we're going to see that really move in on Friday and into Saturday. That could create some storms down in Oklahoma and Texas. Let's actually move right through and look at your severe weather outlook. While Wednesday and Thursday are very calm, Friday is your next chance for storms. That includes just to the west of Dallas, all the way down through San Antonio in the southern portion of Texas, as far north as Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Right now, we're expecting some small hail out of this. However, I think as we get closer to Friday, we're going to get more information on how strong this low pressure system is. And also timing greatly matters here as well. If this moves faster, then we may not get those storms or cold temperatures that we expect. If it moves a little bit slower, things will change. So it's all about timing here. From what we know right now is that we are expecting some small hail in this area. I included Austin and San Antonio in the low risk for Friday. But again, we'll keep this updated over the next few days in case any of that changes. Max hail size at this point is quarter size hail. Let's go ahead and take a look at our jet stream. You can watch that low pressure system come in late in the day on Friday, taking all of those warm and moist conditions from the Gulf, mixing in with that cold weather coming up from Canada. That's going to be your weather maker right there. But also, it's going to bring in that cold weather, that winter weather down into places like the plains, into Iowa, northern Missouri. Who could get snow after Thanksgiving? I think that's a big question on a lot of people's minds is whenever I go back to work on Monday, where will the snow be? Will the snow be on the ground? Well, it's questionable anywhere from Oklahoma to Kansas to Missouri. Are you going to get snow? Is it cold enough for that quite yet? We're unsure, okay? We're saying about a 10 to 30% chance to see snow in some of these areas. However, you go farther up to the north and you've got a really good chance for lots of snow in some of these areas, anywhere from Michigan to Iowa, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, northern Ohio, and Michigan. We are going to see many states get snow from this second system that's coming through this weekend, and that could maybe delay your travel on the way back from Thanksgiving. So just keep in mind that. Look down to the south, there's your storms as we head into the end of the weekend.